Hey guys, Bolt here. Quickest time I can give you. Alright, so we're here for the end of Secret of the Mimic. So today was an issue, and people on YouTube, I meant Wednesday on the 25th. So the schedule for this week was supposed to be the glitched ending, and I was supposed to also get all the extra stuff like achievements and collectibles. I was supposed to do that as a exclusive video to YouTube. I was able to get most of the achievements and most of the collectibles that I missed, and a little extra things in its own video on top of the bad ending. I wasn't able to get around to the glitched ending because I ran out of time. Actually, let me go ahead and move this here. I also adjusted audio. So basically, yesterday, the 24th, I was told by my maintenance of my apartment I was supposed to move my desk because there's a panel behind here that goes to my shower. So if pipes and all that are needing to be fixed, I needed to move my desk, which means I had to unplug everything, remove everything, and because they needed to be here early in the morning, it's like, not only do I not have all the time in the world, but also I had to make sure I have enough time before I go to bed to move this, and, not try to break anything. So it's like, by the time it was like, I think 11 or something like that, well, no, it wasn't 11. I also had to go on a stream that failed, technically. I don't think I'm ever going to be doing Dead by Daylight ever again. That game is, to me, that game is, if you don't jump on it when it was good, when it was first starting and getting used to it, it's very similar to games that are PvP. If you don't jump on it when it starts, there are people that will fall in love with the game and stay with the game, and every time something comes out, they'll be on it, and they know the game in and out. And the issue is, a lot of the people I get in a game with, either the killer is way too overpowered, and they hunt you down, or they're playing unfairly. All that stuff. So that YouTube video will come out next week. But yeah, it's just like I had a time to go to bed. I had a time before a stream. I had to pull some stuff out. So it's like if I wanted to upload it before I ran out of time, I had to call it and just do the bad ending. So anyways, people on YouTube, you should have been here. You can still see it by the time you see this, when it first comes out. But we are doing a speed run of Secret of the Mimic, and then we'll be doing the glitched ending, and I think there's a few other secrets. Actually, I should set that up before, but people on YouTube, I'll see you when we get to any new stuff or the glitched ending. Quick piece on YouTube. I did not get to show this.
Television entertainment space? Are the costs?
I didn't get to show this during my original playthrough.
Writers, crew, and puppeteers holding you back? Then, boy, have we got some news for you. Welcome to the MCM Television Studio.
Alright, so we're in the midst of the very end of Dolly, where we're in the elevator. But I wanted to show you guys something that I did not notice until I was already here. So, let's go ahead and see her. Plop.
Hey, Ryder. There's too much weight in the elevator. I'm not here to shame. Just trying to help you fix the lift. Now, let me check. Wow, this is so disorganized. If you're personally worried about weight issues, I suggest a good diet and exercise. Try tofu. You'd be surprised at how it soaks in flavors. As for the elevator, it's just a bunch of Ed's chicken scratches. Well, it can't be that different from the other elevator instructions, so... Oh, right. You need to realign the elevator using the realignment thingy.
Okay, that's fine.
When that's done, increase the speed of the elevator to accommodate for it. Once you've figured that part out, power on the elevator, disengage the emergency brake.
It's the mimic! He was basically wearing her as a suit. So, alright. Back to the speed run. See you guys in the next one. BRB. Alright. Let it be known. I know people are gonna easily break this record and all that. But without some like stuff, I kind of fumbled the menu. I fumbled a few other things. Had to pause to do a few things. I can say that I've beaten Secret of the Mimic in less than 2 hours. We are about to do the parachute.
You could do it.
The parachute. But you can technically do the bad ending.
And you found the blueprints. What are you doing?
So,
That area. You have made your choice. You are not going to make it out of here alive.
alright, so I will pause real quick on YouTube. We'll continue this, but I'm going to go get a drink, set a few things up because I still have some collectibles, logs and the voice logs. Text logs, voice logs. I need to get both of those. I think there's only a total of 10 things left at this point. What I know is probably missing is a few stuff in the what is it called? The demo version of Five Nights at Freddy's 1. There's a few things I probably didn't go find. We do have to find Mr. Coffee. Or whatever, coffee maker from Desolate Hope. It's apparently in probably around where Fredbear was, based on what I was seeing. But anyways, I'm gonna go get a drink, go to the restroom, set some stuff up for those collectibles, and then we'll continue. I'm just happy though. Less than 2 hours, I sped ran. So, alright, I'll see you guys in a second. BRB. Alright, now that I'm fueled and I'm fine. Alright, so basically, from now on, even though the parachute ending we've already seen, I want to kind of like make sure I'm not missing anything, and I don't really want to keep pausing. I also am going to be looking at some stuff on my browser, so it's going to be a little wonky. So let's continue.
You could have helped. If you had just given me the schematics, we could have fixed things.
I thought you were different. I thought you might understand. But you're just like the others. The other technicians, the workers. They didn't listen, and it caught them all. Now it's your turn to play dress up. When he catches you, which one will he choose? Who are you deep down inside? Another worker bee? A bumbling bee? Perhaps a busy bee? In many ways, tonight has been a comedy of errors. A jester would suit you well. Or a bunny, running from danger, scared and stupid, searching for a hole to hide in. No, you did everything I asked up to this point. You were an obedient dog, a good dog. Then you bit the hand that fed you.
So before I go turning stuff on, I'm gonna see if there's something. That is scary though. That positioning of these things. Kind of like a mock of the mimic coming through. This would have been perfect, but I think it was too close to Poppy Playtime to have a bunch of chase scenes and then on top of that have this thing. I almost forgot, yeah. that's close. Come on. At least they're next to each other. Is this off? So one heading to the house. Oh, so we only have 2 left. So one's heading to the house, and then one heading up to the office. Okay. So I think, and I can't do that because that's the other ending, but I'm pretty sure I got that one. So come on. All right. No, freak. It did a. It slowed down so much that it made me hit both things I was looking at. So the next one. Okay, so there's 2 in this location, and for right now I'll just keep it since it's only 1.
Why? Why would you come down here?
There's 2.
You are clever, but you need to stop messing with things you don't understand.
Oh, and then we also got
protected you
Mr.
as best I could. You should have given me what I wanted and gone home. You did everything else that was asked of you. Why the change of heart? Why don't you trust me?
Wait. Actually, is it like... Because once I come off that stage, there's no way going back. So to access it, you'll need to engage the alternate ending, making your way to the depths of the facility to there. After you select the turn on stage lights option on the helper, a room on the right of the stage. Okay. And then there's one in the bathrooms. Okay. And I think I have the one in the bathrooms. So I should be fine. That's what it's telling me. So to the right. There's Freddy. That's the one I got shoved in at the bad ending. That went, that did go live, by the way. So there's supposed to be... Hello, Chica. So through there is where that coffee maker is. A lot of dumped pieces here. Oh man, I can't do it early. Hello, Foxy. So... Aww. Bummer, dude. Come on. Did it see me going here? Nope. So here.
Maybe that one will help me.
Why is it in a
I cannot see
constant?
you in that suit, but I can.
Why are we in like a constant state of loading? So right here.
Aren't they insane? The look of these new animatronics is Fiona's design, and they're great. Oh, first they approve the art, then they approve the proofs. Now they change their minds when we're so close to final. Why would they change them now? Are they pulling my leg? The new concepts are frankly creepy. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not changing a single bit of her work, and they can't make me.
Period. Well, alright, there's that.
Remaining.
I see right through your simple shell game. You should have done what you were told.
Okay,
Where
so
did you go? Without power, you will trap us both down here in the dark.
I think this is the spring body. Yeah.
Power remaining.
Left consider power.
Alright. So that's cool.
You put us both at risk. I cannot stop it.
Test. Journal entry. I got the change order from Hen last night. None of this makes sense. I'm almost done. Why change it now? It would be so much easier to keep using the spring locks. Just hire some teens to wear the suits like we always do.
Alright, so yeah, Hen for Henry. Alright, so, and then this is also where the coffee maker would be. So. So we got the prototype Endo 01s. There he is! There's the coffee maker from Desolate Hope. I'm sorry? That one isn't recorded in the stuff, I think. You son of a. Okay. Well, I don't have to worry about text logs. Cool. Fredbear, let's go, buddy. So we got the coffee maker, we got the last log.
0% power remaining. Error. You give me no other option. Enter.
And here you are. Despite the circumstances, it is nice to meet you face to face. It is lonely down here.
Wait, what? What are you?
It's
a computer? Your voice changed. What is going on?
You have questions, but there is no time. I'm almost out of power. You can still be useful. My communications with Edwin have been severed. Edwin abandoned us. He shut himself away in our home. Head to the main house and activate the communications sub-terminal.
Okay.
I have a message for him. We must convince him to repair M2. That is all that I want. If you do not, M2 will never stop pursuing you. Tell Edwin, I still love him. Entering standby mode.
So we got all the logs, that's good. I'm just missing these voice logs, which I'm guessing are just the ones that are hidden away behind glitched access. Oh, wait. So, alright, so there's those. The one in between the house, the one on the main ground. I already got the one in Edwin's office, and then there's two stuck behind glitched stuff. So let's do the one that's there, and then go ahead and do this. So there's supposed to be another voice log. There it is. I think I already got this one though.
Edwin, it doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible, and there's no logic behind it. It happened, and you have to deal with it.
Just hide away the Mimic 1. Hide away the Mimic 2.
Good evening / morning, Mr. Murray. The time is 5 a.m. Burning the midnight oil, I see. Here are today's facts.
Active project status. Fazbear project. Over budget. Behind schedule. End of active projects. Bank account status. Overdrawn. 11. Loan payments are past due. Legal status. You have received 22. Court summons. NCM status. Poor. Employee count. 0. Safety. Emergency alerts active. Productivity. 0. End of update.
In summary, nothing to worry about. You've got this.
Alright, I'm gonna quickly dice
Think
them
positive and
Mimic
believe
here.
in you.
Just to get rid of this swirl. Or I might have to like quickly close the game. And technically this one isn't that hard either, because you're able to save. So there's one on the main floor that I do have to press to make sure. Hello, come here. Come here. Come here. Please get rid of that swirl. Okay. Because that is driving me nuts. Come on. Cool. Alright. Make sure these are both unlocked. Okay, so there's supposed to be one on the bottom floor. There's this. Wait, what? Oh. Huh. That's weird. Wait, what's this? Is that supposed to be Mangle? Because Mangle always seems to be in disrepair. Okay, so... Well... Damn. Oh, it hit me with a hook, too. I don't know if that was the normal, but... Alright. So we know where one thing is. It's kind of weird, though. Alright.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so there's that. Wait, what? Oh, you're using the windows. That's kind of unfair. Is he still on? Hey, he's like in racing mode. I need to get that audio tape in there. That was weird. Laying up like that. nothing extra about this. What does that say? Collectibles. Story time tape. Huh. That's weird. So it's not counting as a collectible, though. Here we go. Here's one.
Edwin, you can't put it off any longer. You need to try again. Build another. Edwin, you need to. I hope you were excited, but you can't let them know about me. It's not safe. Keep it between us for now.
Really? That's where you're gonna put yourself? Come on. Scoodoodle out of the room. You know what? I'm not.
Games of skill are my I can't get enough of this high-value entertainment.
Okay. Okay, so that's 2.
The grand prize is a mystery.
I think there was 5 or 6.
You there!
Oh. Well, a third, and I didn't have to worry about, like... Away from you. I'm hoping that there isn't a lot of those. Yeah, there's 3 of them so far.
Play to win.
Oh, so there's 6 of them. Okay. Hey! That's cool. I think that puts us at 4. So we're still missing 2. Yeah. So we're just missing 2. Woo! Oh, and then there's this.
For the last time, no!
Woo!
It wouldn't be him! Oh, I'm kidding. You're not really you. It's so stupid.
Edwin, calm down and give it some thought. Try again. Make another, and we can all be together.
All this time wasted? I should have been having fun with him, playing games and teaching him how to make things. But I didn't. You. I let a machine raise my kid. You're not real. What was I thinking?
You do not mean that. It is me. I'm Fiona.
Stop talking like her. You're not her. Never want to hear or even think about you ever again. Ever!
Okay. Okay, so we're at 5. I need to go put this down. Alright. So that puts us at 5. Is there like one in the far back? So.
Games of chance are my favorite. So much fun, 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 fun.
One more glitched room at the very end. Okay. Cool. Need to grab this and get it back in there. Alright, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. So... So these don't exactly have any numbers or anything, so I'm just gonna say they don't have an order, they just need it collected. I've been spoiled a little bit about this one, so I know the biggest thing I need to know is there is 4 animals I gotta find the order of. That's one of the biggest things I was told, because oh, it's I almost forgot it. Yeah, it would have been quick, but all right. So there's that. Cool. Apparently this is the fakest ending of all 3. No Foxy? The fan! The true enemy of this entire game. So we got a little octopus. Huh. So that's it. The mimic drawing again. The camera. Alright, we need the tiger plushie. Oh, here we go. This is what it is. So I need to say the alligator, the fox, the bear, and the bunny. So that's basically the Final Fantasy 4 room, which kind of implies... I mean, Why are you going boo, boo? Was I supposed to see something? So after this, I will have officially gotten every achievement, and I will not have to return to this game unless they do DLC. Please be free, though. Please be free. Ooh, a little tower.
Welcome to bedtime. Would you like a story to help you sleep?
Hold on. Someone's missing. David? Where's David?
Oh.
Come out, wherever you are. There you are.
Do you remember how our story begins? Once upon a time. That's right. An angry alligator was swimming in the lake. Isn't that nice? So, what happens next?
That's right. Then a crafty fox sat down and started a game of chess. They had so much fun. Do you remember what happens next? That's right. A roly-poly bear joined the others and offered his honey, but then he spilled it all over them. Oh no. Oh no. What did they do? That's right.
The bunny saw everyone arguing. The group yelled and gnashed their teeth, and it scared the bunny, and he ran away. This shocked all the friends, and they realized that anger didn't solve anything. They all started a band and lived happily ever after. The end.
Boom boom! Game completed.
The moral of the story is that friendship is the real treasure. Now it's time for bed. Your parents love you. Sleep tight.
This book has some things. Implications. It has implications. Because a bear, a bunny, a chicken, a fox, an alligator, and a dog. Desktop. Go over here. Alright, so making sure it doesn't catch too much. You'll hear a little bit through my stuff. Actually, I can just... Oh. I have a wheel that can go to the volume. So, in that book, it shows our main four animatronics on top of what is presumably going to become Monty, and the dog, which us fan people know him as Sparky, but it looks like through the prototype Five Nights at Freddy Fazbear's that they were trying to do Bub, which Bub is a Five Nights at Freddy's World reference, which kind of makes me think that there's always supposed to be a dog. But I think that's supposed to be the main four that started it all. The one that Edwin really liked was probably with the alligator, because an alligator was always involved. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 had an alligator-shaped mask, and now we're noticing that it wasn't. So it was Jugband Monty. Most of the blueprints just call him Jugband, but it looks like via that water game we got, that he is called Monty, which kind of also implies that maybe Big Top isn't called Big Top, because his blueprints probably call him Big Top, but he's probably known in his actual thing as Music Man or Music Box Man. Well, Music Box Man. So yeah, it looks like the main four on top of Monty and Bub were supposed to be a bit the main group. And it looks like, based on the fact that we had a Bub and a Monty Springlock suit, it feels like those guys were probably so early. Maybe even Edwin was willing to be a part of Freddy's in early development, and those were his characters he wanted to implement into Freddy's. But it's kind of weird that those two were completed, but Fredbear and Spring Bonnie were not, because we only got to see the color of the bow tie for Fredbear, where for Spring Bonnie we just saw him in his metallic glory. But it's kind of just like weird to kind of be at the end there. Another thing, now that I'm thinking, those the films, the ads we see, Elston Chica's, it does very much feel like all of the tapes, except for like the Jest serial one, most of them feel like they're supposed to mean something. So like the magical coat hanger, that explains the mimic's extensions. The also it kind of also explain Cleanovac also explains that because he says any big or small, but I think the Cleanovac is just saying that's the beginning of the company. That's the big thing that kicks off Edwin as the CEO. Because we do get like the prototype Cleanovac, or like the first thing it says in the description, like his first success, first failure, the beginning of the failures. So it's like all those are like explains something of the story. Cleanovac is the beginning of the company. Chica is just saying, hey, Chica was the first produced out of the main four, or she was by herself before she was implemented into Freddy's. Because she's got a whole skating rink situation to her. Coat Rack and Cleanovac kind of implying the big to small mechanic that the Mimic can do. And then the Mycelium Men, the mushroom people, they can mimic noises they hear, which I think that's kind of where a lot of stuff is coming from. And then I don't know why the Jest cereal is such a big thing. I think that's just to kind of be like, hey, a Jester outfit is supposed to be one of the major outfits from the books, and this is kind of to pay off, to give him more characterization over a lot of the other characters in here. Like, we don't get to hear any of the elephant, the bird, the lion, which I feel like because they're the costumes we see at the end of Ruin, that we would have some big moment with them, but we really don't. Like, the elephant is not, it's weird because the elephant is the introduction to the Mimic in this game. Well, the lion was kind of like, oh boy, here's a reskin for the Mimic via a new ending. And then the bird just kind of exists. But I guess a bird got a spotlight in here. That's probably like, oh, you're thinking this bird with glasses is going to get something? No, the Chica is going to get a main part in this. But yeah, the Jest cereal, it's either that's just a payoff from the books, or there might be something there. I don't know what you could say the Jest cereal is a major part of. I think it's just to be like, hey, a little payoff from the books. I need to make a thing soon to cover this story in what it is, because a big thing that I'm noticing not a lot of people, but a lot of people are just taking without looking into it. Daco made a theory that these spring locks are perfected, or they are proper. They aren't going to have spring lock failures when one of the logs are saying that the moisture and stuff is a big risk still, even with Edwin, the Murray tag on them. Not to mention, most of these suits are from Murray. It's just they've been I think most of the time they'll be fine. It's just Fazbear misusing them, but Fazbear don't care in the first place, so I think they hid any spring lock failures. I think the thing that got them blocked away was the crying child incident, the bite of 83, which is, it's also kind of weird because it's like, so at this time you told Edwin to stop making them, but you're still using them back in 83. Let me go ahead and close my game so I can try to save on some processing here, and then I can close down my browser too. Yeah, I've got that blue ribbon, boys. I got that blue ribbon. But so basically, what I want to do is just like it feels like there's a lot of slipping happening with a lot of the lore here. So I want to ignore, not completely ignore, but I will ignore a lot of the past games. I'll just take something. If it has anything new with Fazbear, yes, I will take from the old games. But this game is pretty self-contained in the Murray story. The story of the tragedy of the Murray family. The creation of the Mimic. Why is it here? Why does it exist? How does it work? Why is it the way it is? And then we get an explanation from the last game, Ruin, for what is the digital bunny thing, which looks like it's just Fiona, but the F10-4A program, I think that's what it is, or the N4 program, which is the Mimic 1, which is Fiona's Mimic, or a possessed voice, because it really does imply also that Fiona may or may not have taken over the M1 program as an actual proper spirit, which is the reason why, unlike M2, it worked out. Because Edwin in his office says, I don't know why M1 worked, but apparently M2 is, like, the multiple copies of M2 is not working. I can't just, give out M2 if I can't even get the program to work. So I think it's actually saying Fiona possessed M1, giving that perfect programming, which explains why M2 and every other thing is not working. But then there's this ending. Why is, thanks to a cradle program or whatever, working? Why is M2 properly fixed once this storytime program is executed? Which I don't think it's to save him or like procure him. I think the cradle program is what happened there. I think it reverted it back to its original programming, which was it was mimicking David before it turned bad and got all this other stuff, and the cradle program shut it down when he went to bed. But there's a lot of stuff here that I'm going to make an actual proper lore summary of. My thoughts to end all of it, just because I don't want to mention this in the summary. I think that this game... Okay, I'm going to get to the negative parts later. But first, let's get into the positives. I think this may have been not the greatest in visuals, but the greatest in functionality in terms of gameplay for a Five Nights at Freddy's game. I also think it doesn't have that many sections that are impossible or like next to impossible, where, we ain't playing some 420 mode. But we also don't got something like Night 4 of Sister Location, where you have to be on your guard and have to be like at least a slight skill level to get past a certain point. For the most part, it's like as soon as you understand the mechanics, understand how everything works, you can get around pretty easily, get the game done, discover secrets, have fun with it. I think this is probably one of the best Five Nights at Freddy's games, but it doesn't feel attached to Five Nights at Freddy's, is what I will say. Elston Chica and a few other Easter eggs, it doesn't feel tied to it, which weirdly enough, like, I think it's probably that security breach was so, hey, this is Freddy's, but if it weren't for that, I maybe would have said otherwise for that game. But for some reason, actually no, I know why Security Breach feels more Freddy's, is because it has the security cams and door shutting. It actually brings in mechanics from old games, where this one is just a run around, a chase sequence, and like obtaining. It's for the most part a walking simulator. I don't want to make it sound bad, but I think for an experience, it was good. Gameplay, it feels very ban on the edge of we could have done something better here with a game. I mean, for a game that's only $40, less than $40, I will not complain because we got quite a bit of content out of this one. It extended a story. It gave an experience. And it's I am happy. I will not complain as long as it stays in that grade of money because I am not spending $100 on an experience like this. So I think next, if that ever happens, I would have to literally watch Daco play the entire thing and ruin the experience for myself. But it's just, I think, for anything higher than $40, these kind of games need to stick to these $40 price tags, unless they're gonna do something grand or like I think Help Wanted may be more understanding of why the price tag would go that high because it's a VR game. There's a huge experience behind that on top of multiple games and mini games getting put in one. But yeah, I think the price is understandable. The experience is understandable. I don't think, in terms of an atmosphere, that it reaches the original trilogy /4. I think the original games before Sister Location beat out most of these indie games in terms of just atmosphere. Like, of course, you got old and it got stale, but you got around it. It felt like you were in the environment when you first few played it without all the little strings of other YouTubers. So I really liked this because like the breathing, the little environmental sounds, perfect. So I think it doesn't feel like a Freddy's game. Good price tag for the experience. It feels good for what it is. There is a few things I feel like it's a lot more buggier since when I first played it. Since they had a patch, but ever since that patch, it feels a little clunky to me. It doesn't feel very fluid on moments. Again, I am playing this with not the full requirements. I'm hoping that the next game isn't requiring so much more because I don't have the money to put in a PC right now. I mean, I'm working at it. I really need to get a better PC, but these things are like thousands of dollars anymore, man. So it's disconnected from Freddy's, it feels like. Price tag, the environmental. So I think the big thing I need to get to is the negatives, which I really think it is a failure of using hyped up characters like Jackie and the Music Man, Big Top. Those two felt so like in your face. Hey, these people are gonna do something big, but for the most part, it's like you retrieve a crank from Jackie, get into a chase sequence, and then you can hear her or him. I don't know what Jackie is supposed to be. Them. You can hear them every now and again through the entire facility. So the nagging feeling of that kind of brings it up, where it's just like, this one should have been used more. Not to mention, it's the face of the dang game. You might as well have used the elephant as the icon, because it feels, and not to mention you used your first teaser using Jackie. It just feels like this character, like else than some branding across like some arcade games like the Tooth game, it just feels like this character isn't introduced much. I'm hoping in a DLC or a future game we use Jackie more, just to kind of make up for what it lacks here. And then the Music Man and DJ Music Man are some of the most like biggest parts of the games they are in. Ultimate Custom Night, the clashing of the cymbals behind you when you made any kind of noise or something set the terror and made me not have to go to the bathroom for a little bit. DJ Music Man, it like he looked such like Glam Rock Freddy made him sound like he was gonna be so friendly, and then then the whole place restarted and he went into a whole frenzy. And that made up, like, I hated that section because you had to do all in one go. But yet you felt like you were getting chased by a giant spider. Giant enemy spider. But yeah, it's just so waste of two of the biggest characters. Dolly, I feel like she came out of she was your like underdog, man. Out of the three like big faces, she was the underdog because it was just like I'm a quirky recycling robot. Let me get off my hinges real quick. All right, coming after you. To do and then kind of has like a normal mimic playthrough. But then the Molten thing is like, yes, the Molten was mostly a hide and seek chase sequence, but it's just like the cool, like the music, the introduction of Molten, Dolly, and then just like it feels like a Terminator coming after you. Where the other two just felt like, all right, dodge hand, run, go through this, pull that. It doesn't feel like the rest. So yeah, I think Dolly out of the three was probably the best used. I think it's just expectations kind of made it. I think if we didn't expect Jackie and Big Top to do anything, hell, if you didn't even show Big Top, it probably would have felt more paid off for. But it's just like, all right, give ticket, become sign. All right, you played the game. Let me become a searchlight real quick, and if I hear anything or hear or see you, get you. And then like a quick run of that. Like I hate that. That's one thing I hate is the control of the spinning of those hexes. That sucked, but I got the hang of it eventually. I think VR is gonna make that more functional. And then the last thing I want to do bring up before I end it here, because I gotta finish this recording because we're already at 1:10. And then I'm happy that I beat this game under 2 hours. You can technically say I did I could have done the actual parachute ending probably by probably like 2:30. Because I got 3 of the films. So I'd say if I'm over here running at 3 hours, I probably would have been done a while ago. Not to mention I've been talking for a while. So we've beaten the game pretty easy off. I'm happy that I got those logs in text because I for the life of me, I think I would have probably I may have died and forgot to go back and get a text, and I would have been like pissed. But I need to go back and timestamp all this stuff. That might be a little bit though, because I'm trying to get everything detailed and figured out in life. There's a lot of stuff I'm trying to figure out right now, and it's a mess. I'm also trying to. We have 500 subscribers. I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. I might make a small animation. I might just go and actually do a proper, decent drawing. I might just do that. And, we're dripping slowly, but at least we got some subscriber count going up. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to bring up for this game so we can finish up here is, after the Mimic, after you understand what it is, else than when it breaks, when the AI decides to break or be a dick, turning around, I'm like a few feet away, let me slowly back away or crouch, and then all of a sudden it has the eyes in the back of its head, or it just has a sensor or something. And then the biggest issue that I was dealing with before the patch and now after the patch, a lot more. There's so much more breaking. Before, it was just Chica didn't want to leave me alone, or if Chica ever left, which they did fix in one of the patch notes, they did say Chica cannot leave an area, even with the stealthiest of people. yeah, I was trying to slowly, go back and forth for those text logs, and it had a mushroom man spawn in, and that broke it to where he would sit there until I came out of the locker and kill me. And that happened a lot more after the patch, where it was just like, if he saw me in an area, he stood there. Maybe I didn't wait long enough, but I should not be waiting minutes for that guy to move. There needs to be a signal saying he's locked onto my position. That way, it's like, oh, all right, now that he's got, the red eyes instead of the orange eyes, now that I know that he's got the red eyes, he's locked onto me, and he's playing, when are you going to leave that locker there, pal? I'm not moving. There needs to be some sign or signal saying you're done for. Or just, if it takes too long for the player to leave, go get them. If it's seriously locked on to us and it's not like saying that and it's just waiting for us, they need to do something to make that show that that is a thing, or at least mention it. Another big thing that I think at the very beginning of this game series, or of this game's playlist of stuff I've done, I mentioned that this was going to probably feel like Alien Isolation. I was kind of right, but I think if they detailed it more like that, and then literally got the textbook option of what the books were calling the Mimic, this would have been so much cooler of a game. Because all I felt like was this, I felt like I was dealing with the security bots from Security Breach, where they would just pace back and forth. Every now and again, something like one of the animatronics would know where I am and kind of patrol the area, but it didn't feel like what the Mimic is supposed to do. Where, like, in Alien Isolation, which is probably why I was, like, really rooting for this game, was that the Mimic is known to learn stuff. So if it learned how the player would play, like, oh, I know you're going to go running. Like, he wouldn't pay attention to running normally, but eventually he would start, like, noticing there's a lot of running happening and would quickly look around to make sure where that running is coming from. And, like, heck, having a owl head on him, just to, oh, I see you, da 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 da, and, like, running backwards with its head turned around would have been so cool. Or, like, hey, hiding, and he would hold an area a lot longer and then slowly patrol away. But so far, it really felt like every other very classic bread and butter of the horror games recently, where it's just like, all right, player is here. I will dictate a path within its proximity. That way I am in the immediate knowledge of it, instead of like, hey, there's a whole map here, why not walk the rest of it? Like, in the workshop, it does it a little bit, but for the most part, once it knows where the player is, it sticks around. And then another thing is, like, for the intermission from putting the suit together to getting, well, actually, it was putting the suit together. Then I think it was, oh, no. It was after getting the suit across the, like, TV set area, and getting it up into that, like, middle area where just power goes out, so you have to reboot it, then get in the suit again. It's, like, a very small area. All of a sudden, like, it's all in the other room. I haven't hit a chain. I haven't gone running. And I haven't hit a button or anything. I didn't hear anything. Nothing malfunctioned. He just randomly done it. So, yeah, I just think if it felt more like Alien Isolation, where it learned from how the player works, like, hey, you're more of a quick runner. I'm going to catch on to footsteps a lot more. Hey, I know you're hiding, so if I catch sight of you, I'll patrol an area a lot longer. It just didn't feel like the Mimic is learning in any kind of sense here. And another thing, two things actually. Speaking of those buttons, that would make it more sense if just out of nowhere one of the buttons malfunctioned, making the mimic come and check it over. If there were more sounds in the environment that would trip the mimic's senses except for the player, it would be so much more of a scarier game. Because like maybe you're passing a button and that all of a sudden malfunctions and it comes running at your area. That would be more scarier. And then one of the other things that I feel kind of it's understandable because we're not trying to hire 100 different voice actors, but I feel like there are so many characters that I wish a lot of them, especially the bigger ones, had a voice. We have a Jest cereal, so we have a voice for Jest. I wish while he's in the Jester costume, he'd throw out some of the Jester lines. Or, you know, I wish the elephant sounded very similar to Orville. To kind of be like, oh yeah, this is technically Orville's granddaddy. To be like, would you like to see my next trick? Would you like to see the big top? You know, that kind of stuff. Like, he's kind of a circusy design. So it'd be nice to be like, come to the next showing. You know, that kind of thing. And then it's like, there's that poodle that had, it had a few things, like cutouts and posters, and it had a toy. And it's just like, I feel like if you wanted to, that you could show that was supposed to be the original, that was the original character that the Glamrock Roxy took her personality from, because it was a hair salon kind of based character. And it's just like, hey, Frou Frou Poodle goes to Roxy. You know, don't mess with my hair. Or let's cut to the chase. You know, that kind of stuff would have been amazing. Just to kind of give all these characters Edwin made. Like, I think this is maybe 10 costumes altogether that the Mimic gets in. It just feels like a lot of them just make random noises. Oh no. But alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.